I love how this thing never retouches you to the point where you don't look like yourself. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my live. It's been a while, Sussex Squad. And those of you that are just genuinely interested in what the hell is going on, I am of the same mindset as you. I don't know what the hell is going on. The royal family continues to humiliate themselves on an international stage, and they're trying to. But you know what? I'm glad that Harry has decided to stop playing the bigger man and join them in the crease. I'm a Nigerian, and I personally believe that sometimes you need to meet madness with madness. Hello, please drop a hello in the chat. Let's give it a few minutes. Let me quickly do something, guys. I'm trying to split the screen. If it will let me. Sorry, guys. Those of you who joined my live, I don't know. I was trying to split screen, but I appear to have somehow made this worse. How are you guys? Good evening. Sorry, my stream dropped slightly. How's everybody doing? This is a Sussex Squad chat. If you're not here for the Sussex Squad chat, I suggest you drop off, please. Because this topic is not a small one. We're here to have a serious conversation about what the heck is going on with the House of Windsor. Hi, Petros. How are you? It's been a while. Sorry, guys. I have to do some work, but we can talk. You know what? Just see. Can you see me? Hopefully, you can. Do you know? Let me just put you here. How's everybody doing? How are you guys? I've missed you all. Sorry. You know what? I'll tell you the biggest problem with posting on YouTube, right? All the copywriting, it makes it difficult. Sometimes you just want to give your thoughts, but then everything. There was a time that it was too difficult to do. So I won't lie, I kind of lost my. It was easier to just post on TikTok. Yeah, it was easier to just post on TikTok. So that's where I am. But I'm bike. But TikTok is fine. But sorry, one sec. Oh, for goodness sake. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Japan was great. If you've ever been to Japan, Japan is a fantastic place to be. I highly recommend it. I highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it if you've never been before. Just beautiful. Since America has more or less told the rest of the world to go F itself, fair enough. We take we take we take that behavior, we take that attitude into advisement, and we have taken our business elsewhere. Probably for the best. Oh, thank you. My hair is growing. I'm so grateful. I've been using Sacred, you know. Wow. I've been using Sacred, you know, to help my hair grow, get some body. I think it's been going well. How you doing, Peach Rose? How's life happening? Hi, Paula. I was saying at the beginning, one of the things I was struggling with YouTube was just Jamaican castor oil. Okay. Yeah. So Jamaica, okay, I mean, so basically I was explaining where I've been all this time, guys. Well, I went to Japan and it wasn't, and I won't lie, I kind of got on TikTok because I was trying to grow my channel, but I found that it's easier to post on TikTok than it is to post on YouTube because of all the copyright issues. There are things you might want to screenshot and they make it so burdensome, honestly. You could spend all your time editing a video only to come back and find out that, oh wait, you can't even monetize it because it's copyrighted. So I wouldn't like kind of put me off for the longest time. But you know what? It's winter. The days are getting longer, it's getting darker, and it is easier to monetize with YouTube. So I'm kind of coming back. I will be straddling both TikTok as I continue to grow because my plan is hopefully people on TikTok will want to join the YouTube channel, and I'll try and see what I can do to grow my channel a bit more. I'm not getting enough people. I don't know why. So I have to just keep on posting, I guess. How's everybody doing? Hi guys, getting on? Excuse me. It's been manic. And I won't lie, the reason why I kind of lost interest in posting for a while is there wasn't really much happening with the Sussexes. And House Windsor is quite boring. House Windsors, watching them is like watching, a toy that the battery is coming to an end. Watching them hobble towards what's the word, irrelevance was just boring. Because, and this is how I know that there's something fundamentally wrong with the Rangers. Because even though it does please me to, call out the nonsense from the Windsor family, I cannot imagine devoting that much mental energy into attacking people I don't like. Yes, I call them out when they do stupid shit, but to dedicate my time day in and day out scrutinizing everything just so that I can post that I don't like them. Guys, if nothing else, I told you, I think we can all agree that the Rangers are the most mentally unstable people in the world. And to show you how boring the wins, how insane being a hater is, right? Imagine tracking somebody you don't like 24 hours of a day and building narratives for them for engagement. The that energy is too negative. One, the energy is too negative, and like I said, the Windsors are the most boring people on earth. So it wasn't. If you want to be a reverse hater, you can't do it with someone like with people like the Windsors. They are too boring. They are too predictably boring. But yeah, like I said in my exactly Petro is like watching paint dry. As I said on my live, the main thing for us here is what the heck has been going on this week. I've been keeping an eye on it because sometimes it's not always, you don't want to always just be creating videos for the sake of videos. I've been keeping an eye on it. Some things are nothing burgers because we're used to the idiots in the Royal Rota and the idiots on YouTube for the sake of their own engagement, making a mountain out of the most boring things. But this week was particularly interesting for me, and I thought, you know what? Let me track this for a minute. And it was quite interesting, I have to say, watching the Windsors more or less destroy their legacy in real time is fascinating, and I think it's kind of something that kind of fired me up a bit. So I kind of like had to bring it to us guys so we can talk about what the hell is going on with the Windsors. The Windsors, unfortunately, yes, it also includes Harry because of course he's Charles's biological child, and there's so much to unpack here. Now, as many of you know, Harry came to the UK earlier this month. I can't believe it's the 30th of September. Bloody hell. Came to the UK earlier this month and reminded everybody what the royal family used to be. The level of excitement, the level of enthusiasm, I have not seen that since Harry and Meghan left, actually. And that's the thing, whenever Harry comes, you are reminded of how uplifting the royal family can be to people. Even people like me that can't stand the royal family. I think it's because for me and with Harry, obviously, as I've said on this channel multiple times, I am a Meghan fan. And the biggest thing for me is for Meghan to thrive. I just want her to be successful in everything that she does. I just want her, by extension, her husband, because he has sacrificed for her as well, to win. Because if you look at all the odds that have been put against them, which I'm not going to recap, it's just, it does give me a certain type of satisfaction to watch them win. But yeah, you can see the benefit of having the royal family's favorite son, Harry, around, because even people who have whose generations have survived colonialism, we tend to forget when we like the mascot, in this case Harry. So it was fascinating to see. Unfortunately, I was in Japan fortunately I was in Japan that week, so I couldn't even track everything, but from the small videos I saw, I mean, even the Rota, who have for the past 5 6 years have dedicated their time in destroying and undermining Harry and Meghan, even they were revitalized, you know. And then to now see what has come out of his visit has been very entertaining. I won't lie. I will not lie, ladies and gentlemen. It has been highly entertaining watching the bitching and the complaining from your favorite son. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic. From Billy Idol and Skeletor. Hi, Nelly. Oh, no, it's fine. This was kind of like a last minute live. I should have kept something on. I call, for those who don't know, from now on, I refer to Kate Middleton as Skeletor, because I don't know what is going on with that situation. Every time I see her, she somehow looks thinner. And anyway, I have some thoughts on that one. But yeah, it was interesting watching the fallout of Harry getting all that good press and goodwill. And the thing is, try as he might, Billy Idol, even Charles, they don't bring that enthusiasm. Let's keep it 500%. They don't. The only people that are happy to see Charles are, I'm sorry to say, the boomers and the Gen X, because I guess they knew him from when he was young. People like me that are millennial, and let me be clear, I don't speak for every millennial, but I'm sure I don't speak for every boomer, but for me, Charles, never liked him, never will. It doesn't matter, and I think it's very delusional of him to think that just because he's managed to make Camilla his queen instead of queen consort, someday people are going to like him. Charles is never going to be liked. He knows it. We all know it. Charles is never going to be liked. But for what he did to Diana, he will never be forgiven. And I'm sure he knows that, and I'm sure he's embraced that. God Almighty. I'm sure he knows that, and I'm sure he's embraced that. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at something on my screen. He knows that, and he's embraced that. So now that he's dying of cancer, one would assume that we will be experiencing a time of transition, because that's what happens with legacies, right? When you're about to kick the bucket, legacy planning. William has been exposed to our consciousness since he was born. So it's baffling to me that 40 years plus in, yeah, exactly, 40 years plus in, William has been unable to capitalize on the goodwill he once has. I have never seen anything like this. Because if you guys remember, for those of you who were crushing on William, when he was younger, he was beautiful. He looked like a male version of his beautiful mother. And me, I'll be very honest with you, he was never my type. But even I have to admit, he was aesthetically pleasing to the eye. He was slim, he was tall, he had Diana's hair, he had her features. And I think a lot of the goodwill people felt for Diana bled into how, and of course, William looked good. So it's crazy to me that between the ages of 20 and what is he, 43? How old is William? Yeah, 43. He has squandered all that goodwill, squandered it. I mean, every time I see a picture of him recently, I cringe. I know his wife is wasting away, but I don't know what's going on with William. I don't know what the hell is going on with William. Maybe they both have an eating disorder. I don't know. I really truly do not give a shit. Or maybe guilt is killing him from inside. Because say what you want about Harry and William, they are brothers. They are siblings. Some people go non-contact with their siblings and it affects them in different ways. Yeah. But I genuinely, honestly think that trying to best Harry, hi Vanity, hi Paula, hi Tell Nelly, hi Nelly. I think William not having anybody like Harry to match his to that whole brotherly competition. I think not having that was when you've spent the majority of your life trying to undermine your sibling, not having Harry around to be his emotional punching bag is probably aging William. Let's keep it 500%. I think it's killing William. What do you guys think? I think it's genuinely killing William. Not having anybody to fight, not having anybody to argue with, not having anybody to bully. I think it's genuinely killing that man. Because every time I look at Billy Idol, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what is this? Yeah, I told you that I call Kate Middleton Skeletor now. If the British royal family have refused to look into the health of Kate and William, then I guess we have to call it out. Yeah. So yeah, William not having anybody to try and emotionally compete or mentally and physically, I don't know, compete with, not having Harry there to prop him up and his mediocrity, his lack of charisma, and his and his inadequacy as an heir. I think it's literally killing him. I think honestly, the stress of preparing to be king, I think is killing him, frankly, guys. I genuinely think. I think William, you know how we sometimes embellish on our CV and we may get jobs that we're not suited for. That's why you have a probation period, right? I think the closer it gets to William taking over the throne, I think it's killing him. I don't think this is something he wants. Oh yeah, he wants the money. He wants the prestige. I mean, God knows he's been on like what 10 holidays this year. He has no qualms spending that money. He has no qualms enjoying the luxury of being future king. But the actual work, the scrutiny, he doesn't want it. And I think that's why he's wasting away. Because the more his father, and don't forget, even though the press likes to pretend, Charles and William do not like each other. Whatever feelings Harry has for Charles, William is worse. Don't forget that William got to see his father do what he did to his mother. William is older. And even though I think he may have resented his mother for not being emotionally available to him as a mom, and he probably considered her behavior towards the end embarrassing, that was still his mom. And the fact that his father was able to quickly move on with that horse-faced cow, Camilla, and most likely treat Camilla's children with way more love and regard than he's treated William and Harry, I don't think William fucks with Charles. I'll keep you 500%. So you have somebody who is being prepped for the throne, who doesn't necessarily want that job, but knows that it's coming and is stressing because of it, because the small freedom he's enjoying now is not going to exist once he becomes king. Let's keep it 500%. Because with Charles is doing all the work. As soon as Charles gets too sick to work, William has to step up. Yesterday there was the rugby finals, which I think William and or Kate are patrons of, and neither of them attended the female rugby finals. Why? Why? Like, what happened? It is literally your job. All these little missings that they keep on going missing while enjoying taxpayer money with their luxury holiday is not going to fly. Yeah, it's not going to fly when he's king, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you've seen that he's already started dropping hints that he wants a European style monarchy. And of course, the press is not going to stand for that, because you see, the beast that you fed has now come back to bite you. These people have to eat, and they eat through the royal family. So you're not doing activities, you're not showing up to events, you're not doing shit. It's not going to fly. Oh, thank you, Rosalind. It is not going to fly, ladies and gentlemen. So I think, honestly, that's probably what's stressing William. William is bearing the burden of somebody who is going to take a job he is not qualified for, and doesn't want to do. And I think what's happening, I'm calling it the War of the Windsors. I believe, yes, that's what you call it, the War of the Windsors. It's kind of like the War of the Roses for the 21st century. You have a reluctant heir who usually would hide behind his punching bag, Harry. Harry is no longer there for you to punch. So what's going to happen? They always say that Kate is the most popular royal. We all know that's utter and complete nonsense. Come on now. And okay, fine, let me even play devil's advocate. Let's say Kate is the most popular royal. For what? What is she popular for? What does she do? Popularity is not a tag. So what is she popular for? I told you, I don't know if you guys remember, because the expectation was Harry is meant to follow the pace of his brother. That's because that's what Harry is there for. Harry is supposed to be like, I liken it to the relationship of Charles and Andrew or Edward. They are never going to outshine Charles, as useless as Charles is. Andrew is a pedo, and Edward probably just doesn't want the drama. They've said that he's gay and he's in a lavender marriage. I don't know. I truly do not care. So he just wants to collect his checks every month and do the barest minimum. Hi, Joyce. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hello, everyone. Do the barest minimum. I don't think in the history, and I could be wrong, for those of you that are history buffs like me, I don't think I have ever heard of the second or third born outshining the heir while the heir is alive. I don't think it's ever happened before. I could be wrong, though. I've never heard it before. Or if it ever happened, historians never reported it because they have a way of remixing the truth. So you have Harry, who is loved, who is respected, who has reached circles that William can never get into. And then you have William, who is now carrying the full weight of the royal family on his back, that no one likes, doesn't like to work, has a vacuous wife, or skeletal as I call her. And personally, if you ask me, I think he is going to sacrifice his children. I believe William is going to sacrifice those babies. Not because he hates them, but he needs cover. Billy Idol needs cover. Billy Idol needs cover, ladies and gentlemen. He's lazy. I personally think he has some sort of mental health problem. He looks terrible. He's not attractive. All the goodwill he got because he was a semi-looking, good-looking twink has completely vanished. His brother has completely outshined him on any level, every level. And yeah, it's coming home to roost. And I'm very confident that he is going to sacrifice his children. He's going to sacrifice his children. And if he can't sacrifice his children, he will sacrifice Harry and Meghan's. And Harry and Meghan are aware. Which is why I don't believe that. I don't believe people keep on saying that they are going to leak the photos of the children. I will tell you my theory on that very quickly. I don't think it's going to happen. At least not from Charles. And I'll tell you why. But anyway, going back to this week. Yeah. So basically, I think what William probably thought was if Harry I told you guys, if Harry ever comes back, I don't know why they all think Harry wants to come back, even though Harry has been saying every year since 2021 that he's not coming back to being a working royal. I don't know which other language Harry can speak at this point. But anyway, I think what he's hoping for, that if Harry decides to come back, Harry is going to come back and beg him or beg the father or something. And I think he probably assumed or thought that, well, since I'm going to be the king, if Harry has to come back, he has to come through me. I have to sign off the terms and the agreements. And this is probably something that I don't know who's been feeding this to the press, but if you look at the way the tabloid media reports on Harry and Meghan, there's always this hidden, almost satisfactory joy, cruel joy, that, oh my God, Meghan is going to have to come and kneel in front of Kate, or bow down to Kate, or bow down to William. I think we can all, I don't see Meghan ever doing that. I don't know, but I don't see that happening. I'm so sorry. I personally don't see Meghan ever stepping in the UK again. But I'm happy to be wrong. I don't think it is healthy to maintain this type of estrangement in a family like the royal family. I don't think it's fair for the children. Meghan, Harry, Kate, what's her name? Skeletor and Billy Idol. They're adults, they will sort it out. But the kids, it's not fair. It's not fair to them. For the sake of the children, and for the sake of the monarchy, actually, because those kids are the future of the monarchy, I think they need to find a way to come to some sort of consensus, an agreement. Yeah? If nothing else, for the sake of the monarchy. And I don't have any illusions, like a lot of Sussex squaddies. A lot of Sussex squaddies think that Harry is a member of the royal family. Harry is a royalist. I don't know why anybody thinks he's not. Harry has for himself said so, that he believes in the royal family. He's a royalist. Harry did not leave the royal family to become a Republican. He left because his family wasn't safe. Period. Those titles that they fought for wasn't because he hated the royal family. It's because, one, it's his birthright. And he said it himself. I think him and Meghan want his kids to have an opportunity to say, look, this is not something I want. They want, this is something you pass to your kids, right? They want to give them a chance to make up their own mind. So by that argument, people that say Harry doesn't like the royal family, they always surprise me. When has he ever said that? He's never said that. He just wants his family to be safe. So anybody that is thinking that, Harry leaving the royal family to protect himself and his family is because he wanted to say F you to the royal family, you're not paying attention. Yeah, I hear you, Vanity. And again, I don't know how that's going to look. Yeah, Debbie. And again, I go back to my previous point. Harry is a royalist. Think about it this way. They've been hammering this stuff into his head ever since he's been a child. He's not going to stop believing in the royal family just because he's married to a biracial black woman or because he's had bad experiences because of his idiot father. He loved his grandmother. He loved his grandfather because they took care of, even though I have a lot of thoughts about the way Queen Elizabeth handled the management of her grandchildren, he loved them. He served at Her Majesty's pleasure as an army man. He's been serving the royal family since he was born. This is in his DNA, literally in his DNA. So anybody who is saying that Harry doesn't, what? He is going to find a way to make it work. But I think what we can all agree, for those of us that are Meghan fans, we can all agree that Meghan is not about to be disrespected. They've been together for, they most likely as a family have agreed how they want to manage things. Because when I sit back and think properly, why would Harry now? Why now? Why now did he go out of his way to aggressively get a proper UK PR system in place? Why didn't he do it 5 years ago or 4 years ago or 3 years ago? Those charities that he has, they've been here for years. Why now? It's now, and people say it's the Invictus, probably, but I think it's also because we have now rounded a corner in the Harry relationship with the royal family. Harry wants to come back and serve the charities that he has in the UK. Don't forget the Invictus Games is going to be. When is the Invictus Games? 2 years? Just about 2 years' time. I think. Wait, is it next year? I don't know if it's next year. No. 2 years' time. Yeah. Approximately 2 years' time. He needs to he needs to be around to coordinate. He needs to be on ground, right? Thank you, 2027. So he needs to start laying the groundwork. And we know Harry is hands-on. So he has to be coming here to put things in place, to set things up, to meet people, to deal with the military. So that's why I was telling people that please don't ever be delusional and think that Harry is not a royalist. Please. 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 Don't ever be delusional to think that Harry is not a royalist, because he is. He wears that, he carries that burden. And now he's back. The question is, how is the royal family going to manage Harry? And that's what I tell people. Whatever your thoughts are about the royal family, don't get it twisted. But yeah, so the war of the Windsors is not going to stop because Harry coming back, as exciting as it is for the British media and for a lot of the British subjects, it's exposed. It continues to expose how incompetent William is as an heir. Now he's gone to him and Skeletor have gone to go and get that royal lodge, that 8 bedroom monstrosity, right? For some reason, somebody has not explained to me why they went to get that. I'm still not clear on why they went to get that house. People are saying that they've broken up and it gives them a chance to be away from each other, probably. But and the fact that they don't want any staff, yeah, is and the fact that William does not want any staff in his house gives gives a lot of people a lot of pause. Like, what's going on? So you're moving into this 8 bedroom monstrosity. You've been on 9 vacations this year. You don't work. None of your initiatives are of note. Harry has the Invictus Games. It will always be Harry's. What does William have? Earthshot. Let's keep it 500%. Any rich man could have opened that foundation. Any rich man could have done it. It sounds like one of these initiatives that Bill Gates could have put his money into as a way to avoid paying taxes or as a way to influence governments. We don't know Earthshot as an initiative. All of us in the UK, I don't know how this benefits us. What do you guys think? Hmm. It doesn't explain why they are looking skinny though. What do you guys think? It doesn't explain to me why they are looking skinny. Why they both look like that. They look terrible. They look like they've not eaten. What do you guys think? Am I being unfair to Billy Idol? I don't think so. What I want to know, all I want to know, guys, is I want to know, I am genuinely curious. What I really want to know is why they're so skinny. Are we watching some sort of guilt ridden, psychotic mental breakdown? I don't. What is happening? Because every time I see them, I cringe. They are not attractive. They're an ugly couple. No offense, but they are. They look ugly. They look like they've not eaten. They don't look healthy. Kate, the next time we see Kate, she won't look like a person anymore. And it's making me laugh. It looks ugly. And I need somebody to explain to me what is going on with Kate. And have you seen, like, when they take pictures with William, there's a way he stands, like as if I didn't watch it and I'm not going to watch it because I can't be bothered. Apparently he forced Eugene Levy to come and do an interview with him. I was so embarrassed. And he apparently Eugene Levy was in the UK and he kind of threatened, I'm joking. Apparently, but he did reach out to Eugene Levy that, oh, come and interview me so that the world can see I'm relatable too. From the small clip I saw on Matt Wilkinson's X page, where he was feverishly what do you call that, scooter, standing on his scooter. From what people were saying, that William just looked, he came off as anxious, nervous. And here is my question: William, why are you so nervous? What's the problem? What's the problem, Billy? Like, I genuinely want to know what is his problem. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? I want to hear from you. You think it's guilt? I personally think it's fear. I don't think it's so much guilt. I think it's fear. I think everything that Billy Idol has been doing this past week is, if Harry comes back, the prodigal son who has gained so much respect and admiration globally for abandoning the royal family to protect Meghan and the babies, who has built his own thing from scratch. This is probably the first time Harry has ever had to work in his life. Harry has worked, built a business. That business is thriving, it's growing. Harry is liked, he's respected, he has a military career that people admire. He has the Invictus Games. The spare has become more acclaimed than the heir. So if he's, when he was in Montecito, through his through his minions in the press, they could attack them, they could insult them, they could continue this relentless attack without little to no pushback. They could continue this relentless attack with little to no pushback. And I think it's more than that. What do you guys think? I think it's ladies, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. I think he's scared. I think he sees the writing on the wall. That if Harry comes back, it's one thing to bully Harry when Harry is not around, but now Harry is here. He's visible. All the false narratives that you've been spreading about him for the past few years, people can for themselves come to their own conclusions and see past the bullshit. Harry is back. And don't forget, every time Harry comes and people run to meet him and they are warm towards him, it's a problem. It's a problem because it shows that the campaign is not working. It's a problem. Do you know why it's a problem, ladies? Because if somebody has been saying to you, if somebody has been saying to you that when people, yeah, yeah, I think it's just a thing of Harry has been in the US and it's easy to send your minions after him when Harry was barely responding or Harry was not engaging with you. Because how many tabloid lies will you fight? And somebody said it perfectly. Megan came back on Instagram. All of a sudden, all the lies are debunked. All of a sudden, all the stories about Harry and Meghan's wedding or marriage is nobody is saying anything about it anymore. Do you remember? Harry and Meghan are going to get divorced. Harry and Meghan did not attend an event, so therefore they are going to get divorced. You know all of that. How are you going to say that they are unhappy when the pictures speak for themselves? How are you going to spread information that Harry and Meghan are the least like royals when nobody brings the type of crowds that Harry does when Harry comes to the UK? Two things can be true in terms of popularity. Two things can be true at the same time now. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. Either Harry is popular or he's not. So which is it? And I think the thing that also frustrates them is, do you remember that time that Harry came to St. Paul's for the Invictus 10-year anniversary? And the British media were they were surprised that, oh wow, people actually like Harry. People actually gathered for Harry. There's an excitement in the air. And I'm like, what did you think people were reading your newspapers and believing you? What? Did you think people were believing you? Hmm? Is that what you thought? So now they're angry. Because after years of spreading lies that Harry is the least liked royal, Meghan is hated, how can you keep that lie up when Meghan's show was very successful? When Meghan's show is selling out. You can't keep lying like that now. That's why the question is, which is it? Either Harry is popular or he's not. And from what we can see, he is. Hmm? Either Harry is popular or he is not. Two things can be true at the same time, especially when it comes to popularity. And that's why Harry said that he knows that people can make up their own mind. And people do make up their own mind, guys. They're not stupid. People are not stupid. Are there some people who will hate Harry forever and ever? Yes, of course. They've been disillusioned by the royal family. They will always despise him for tearing the band-aid, for what they consider to be a betrayal of the royal family. The narratives that they formed in their head about the royal family is done now. So they will always hate him for that. When you tell the truth about an institution like that, you will always be despised. And that's what they will never forgive him for. Oh, they were separated. You know, like I told you, I don't pay attention to these people. I didn't know they were separated because they're so boring to me. Like, okay, I guess. And you have Megan, an active public campaign to destroy her show. It didn't work. And that was something I was also going to say. I think the thing that William will always despise Harry for is just showing him how mediocre he is. Harry was never supposed to marry a Meghan. William set the bar. He was supposed to get a Kate. She was supposed to get a Kate or a version of Kate. Someone that Kate could boss around and lord over. You know? Because Kate is not bright. She's just a pretty face. At least she used to be a pretty face. Now she looks like she's going through something. I don't know. They keep on telling me it's cancer, but I think we all know that's not true. Kate is going through some sort of eating disorder. And if her husband liked her even a little bit much, we would not be here. But here we are. Because William doesn't like it. Even the way he moves around her, he doesn't like that woman. And you know how I know? Do you guys remember Wiggate? What the hell was that on her head? I couldn't believe what I was looking at. That thing that she wore on her hair, I still can't understand that what happened. And I'm like, Kate, so you left your house. Someone looked at you with that thing on your head and said, okay, you look great. You know? Maybe. You know what? I can see that for Kate. I can see that monstrosity on her head. Must have been a shock to the system. Remember when I saw her head, I was in Japan and I was like, what the hell? No, but did you guys remember William's body language? William looked terrified. William, you know how when you don't want to stand next to someone, William looked embarrassed. And I was like, William, you saw your wife or the woman that you call your wife with that thing on her head. And somehow the outfit she chose and the way Kate looks terrible. Kate looks bad. And I'll tell you something, yeah. I used to think, because even me, I'll be honest with you, I think, sorry guys, I'm just trying to fix something that's not working properly. Yeah, and that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I think the one lesson we can all agree here is let's stop encouraging mediocre people to be mediocre. Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I was telling someone that this is what tells me that Kate does not have any friends. Hey, Dana. Sorry, guys, just finishing some work. It's so nice to see everybody in the community. How are you guys doing? I've missed everybody. I hope everybody's doing okay. As we get into the winter months, we're sitting down here talking. But Kate doesn't have friends. We know that now. If Kate had friends, that hair would not be looking the way that hair looks. I also think that, again, we have to remember that William was very strategic marrying Kate. Doesn't like her. Kate doesn't have friends. That's why I said that the marriage of Kate was strategic. So somebody sent me the video of the interview between Kate and William. And I think Kate, there was a look on William's face. You can see on William's face that he wasn't happy, his choice, Kate was not what he wanted. I'm sorry, but I could see it. You know how when you he knew, first of all, she was struggling to talk. She was struggling to talk. It was awkward to watch. I was kind of embarrassed for her, frankly. And I was like, William, you know that your woman can't talk very well. So why are you forcing her to give this interview? I was so embarrassed. I was like, ugh. And I want to be clear, yeah, as somebody who struggles with public speaking, nobody here is trying to humiliate Kate. We understand where she's coming from. At least I do anyway. Nobody is talking about, we're not trying to mock Kate for not knowing how to talk publicly. Yeah, nobody is mocking Kate for her inability to speak publicly. A lot of people can't speak publicly. But when you compare her to someone like Megan, it's very obvious that Kate is severely lacking. And I think the reason why she's severely lacking is because William did not want to marry a woman that stood on her own merit. William never wanted to marry a woman that stood on her own merit because he did not want a Diana type of situation. Let's keep it 500%. Well, that's too small. I think William intentionally didn't want a woman. People say it, but I and they think, and in many cases I think they are joking, but such a small cluster. What do you guys think? I think it was intentional, guys. I think William never wanted a woman that had anything going on for her because he didn't want to be Diana. I told you guys that I really believe that William had a lot of dislike of his mother. He loved her, yes, but he didn't like all the shenanigans that went on in the media. And we all remember that he called her paranoid. He didn't want a woman like his mother. He wanted someone quiet, someone that was pliable, someone who wouldn't embarrass him, somebody who wouldn't challenge him necessarily. He just wanted someone that would fall in line. And I think that was probably the reason why it was very hard for him to find a woman to marry, which is why he set for Kate. I'm not saying he hates her, but you know when somebody settles, that was the standard that William set. And because he expected Harry to follow him and marry an equally vacuous woman, that is why I personally think it was a shock when Harry got a Meghan. Not necessarily because she was beautiful, because I mean, come on. But even though I don't, no shade to Harry, but money will attract beautiful women. Let's keep it 500%. I don't think Harry finding a beautiful woman was the problem, but finding a woman like Meghan, beautiful, accomplished, educated, charming, resourceful, intelligent, also working class. So she didn't come from their world. She was an outsider in every sense of the word. She was black. Okay, sorry. She had a black mother. What? That was a rebel. That was supposed to be a rebel. And that was why I personally believe some articles came out recently about the fight between William and Harry. Don't forget that William was saying that Meghan is abrasive. She is difficult. I think the word he used was difficult, abrasive, and something else. I was like, yeah, she's difficult and abrasive because you can't control her. Because you can't bully her. She's not Kate. And she's not impressed by you, William. You can't wag your finger in her face and she will tolerate it. That was not the type of woman Harry was supposed to get, because that was not the type of woman William got. And I think that's what will always make him hate Harry, actually, because Harry was always the rebel. Don't forget that when people started, that's why people don't compare Kate to Meghan much anymore. And when they do those comparisons between Kate and Meghan, they're always making excuses for Meghan or for Kate. They were like, oh, Kate was a teenager when she got into the royal family, and Meghan came into the royal family in her 30s. She was a woman who knew her own mind. That's the excuse they make for Kate, because when they compare Kate to Meghan, it's very clear Kate is lacking. Now imagine this your brother who is a rebel, who has managed to shed all the bad headings you put on him, as stupid, as chaos, as a chaos agent, as a loser, and he has transformed himself into a very impressive young man with an equally impressive wife. You can understand why William doesn't want him to come back, because it's very glaring the deficiencies William and Kate have when compared to Harry and Meghan. All the tabloid bashing, I don't think it's going to work this time, because Harry has his own PR team. Yeah, Harry has his own PR team. Harry doesn't let them have access to the Sussex inner working, so they can't leak anything to the press. So everything is always going to be a challenge. And more importantly, Harry has now shown that because he has his own PR people, that he can fight back. So how do you fight an opponent like that? That's why William doesn't want him back. Leave Meghan out of it. Between William and Harry, the Harry of before is not the Harry that William is getting back. And that's what William is panicking about. And like I said, all of this, Charles's fault. Because Charles didn't pay attention to his children. He was too busy chasing Camilla up and down the whole place and sacrificing his second son to revamp his own image. It's going to be an interesting few months. I think it's going to be a very interesting few months. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be a very interesting few months. It's going to be very interesting these next few months. And I'm very curious to see how it goes. Yeah. It's going to be a very interesting few months, guys. Probably. Yeah, it was that thing of underestimating the internet. Again, you're playing the games that you would play in the 80s and the 90s, and maybe even the 2000s, and they would work. But now you're dealing in a time when we have TikTok, when there's a lot of independent media. People don't have to take one story, they don't have to take one narrative, they push back. And people, I keep on telling people that people keep on forgetting that Meghan, Harry, they don't need everybody to like them. Meghan has a business. All she needs are her retailers to buy her products and help her break even. She's good. Harry has a business. All he needs are his business partners to work with him. He's good. As for the charities, that I also think, guys, one thing I forgot to mention, don't forget about the Centibele issue. Part of the reason why Harry is going to do everything in his power to be more present. The Centibele thing was probably something that was very painful for him, and was also probably an eye opener that he needs to be on the ground a bit more. He needs to be coming around more to ensure that his charities cannot be sabotaged. Hi, Lily. Harry is going to be around more because his charities need him to be around more. And if that means being in the UK, then he will be in the UK. Otherwise, it will be easy for him to have another Centibele issue. So I think to mitigate something like that, Harry is going to try and be more present physically at the places where he has his charities. Just like he goes to Africa, he has a lot of charities in the UK, so he will come to the UK as well. So that you don't have a Centibele part two. People can't infiltrate his charities and destroy it from the inside because he's present, he's aware. Yeah, that was something I forgot about. I just remembered the Centibele fallout. Probably a lesson for him as well. Yeah, it's like any business. If you're running a business, especially a non-profit, you need to be present. Maybe not all the time, but there are times you need to come and have meetings, speak with people, just get a general view of what's going on. Sometimes when people know you are coming, it forces them to sit up. So yeah, I think the Centibele thing was an eye opener for him, a wake up call for him. No, I think Harry has learned his lesson. I think Harry has learned his lesson. Sometimes people need to go through something bad to wake up. And yeah, I think Harry has learned his lesson. I think his brother sabotaged him. Maybe not directly, by casting that guy there, trying to make him look bad. Everything, but actually doing work. I believe Billy Idol has been involved. Everything but doing actual work. That's where you will see Prince William. Go and find something to do, William. Go and find a job. You have the headshot prize. Focus on that. Nope. And he seems to live only for trying to make Harry's life miserable. How pathetic is that? But yeah, I have 3 minutes left, guys. So how's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat. How have you guys been? What's been happening? For the Americans, I follow a lot of political news. I hope you're all doing okay. I know that things in America are not so good. Sending you all the good vibes, all the joy. Hope all of you are somehow surviving. Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to grow my channel, guys, this next 3 months. So I'll need your help. I'll need you to please continue promoting my content. I'm trying to get, if by the end of the year I can get to at least 4K, I will be very happy. 4,000 viewers. So if you guys can help me with that, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, it's now 1 hour 30 minutes. It's been so nice chatting with everyone. You will see more posts from me now, and we'll continue to keep the channel consistent. I want to appreciate each and everybody for remembering me. Thank you for not abandoning me. And I did not abandon you, I promise. It's just life had to happen. And now that we are entering the colder, darker months, we can keep each other company. And hopefully the Sussex squad continues to thrive. We're going to catch up on Megan. I know we are. I have some updates from Megan. I wanted to put everything together. Was anybody able to get the orange jam? I'm going to do a review live. I got the jam. I'll speak to you guys about it. Tell you what I think about it. I love it, by the way. And yeah, a shout out to everyone. Please take care. Oh, guys, I'm thinking of creating a Discord community where we can talk to each other and have proper lives. Where we can have proper lives, where people can talk, not just chat. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know in the chat. Um, and yeah, to everybody, I wish you all a lovely week. Take care. Bye. Bye. Ooh, we definitely have to catch up. Like I said, during the disc, when the next live, we're going to be talking about the orange marmalade and what comes next. And did you guys see the video from Megan? It seems we're going to get home decor. That's something that's quite exciting. So yeah, let's catch up later. Take care, guys.